In this video, you will learn about AMZ Alert, which is a tool for Amazon sellers to monitor the health, the status, the situation of each ASIN. And if you would like to try AMZ Alert, you will find the link below in the description, also a special 15% discount you will find in the description as well. And this video is part of the Demo Mondays video series where we invite different Amazon software tools and we ask them to present their products just like this on the screen. And today my guest is Clayton from AMZ Alert. Hello Clayton, it's nice to have you here. Could you please introduce yourself and tell us what is AMZ Alert and how does it help Amazon sellers?
Hi Augustus, thanks for having me. I appreciate it. I'm Clayton Atchison, Director of Affiliates for AMZ Alert. And yeah, AMZ Alert is pretty much what it sounds like. It is a system to basically monitor all of your ASINs, and it keeps you up to date as much as you want to be up to date, to where you know exactly what's going on in your business at all times, and allows you to make changes quickly to make sure you're not losing money.
All right, and could you give us overview to what kind of Amazon sellers AMZ Alert is a best fit?
Yeah, that's a really good question. So it's a lame answer, but the answer is everybody. We work with people that have 1-2 ASINs, so just starting their Amazon journey. And then we have agencies that literally have thousands of ASINs. So we have made it, and you'll see this during the, as we get further into this, but you'll see that they're optimized for businesses, but then also the individual user. We've thought about everybody in between. So the answer is everyone, honestly.
Perfect. So, and what about the marketplaces? In what regions or countries AMZ Alert is covering?
Good question. Okay, I got this one written down because I can't remember all of them. But right now it's totally operational in the USA. But coming very, very soon, like maybe even by the time this video comes out, who knows? We're going to have UK, Mexico, Canada, Germany, and Spain. But you know, the developers are working on that. And if developers, if you're watching this, I love you, but they always say it'll be done, you know, in a week, and it always takes 2 or 3. So we're hoping to have that very soon is the answer.
Perfect. And now I think we are ready to jump to your screen and learn about AMZ Alert and see how does it work and how can Amazon sellers use it.
Perfect. Okay, so here we are. So this is the AMZ Alert dashboard. And recently we've been doing a lot of upgrades. As you can see, this product group, Slack notifications, manage sub-users, etc. But this is what you'll see when you first log in to AMZ Alert. You'll see how many products you have, how many suppressed products you have, how many alerts we have sent you. And this number like scares me to death, 9,311. If you told me you were going to send me 9,311 emails, I would say I'm never signing up for your service, but that's not what's going on. And you'll see that. And then also when it was first developed, they created this thing here that says hours won back. Basically, it's their best guesstimate on how long it takes to solve problems or to investigate issues. And so some people that use our service, like we thought about removing it because it kind of seems a little silly sometimes, but other people are like, no, I love that. I want to see how much time I'm saving. So we left it in there for them. The dashboard also shows all the alerts in the past 7 days. You can toggle over here to show the open alerts, which is these are things that have not been handled yet. So if I were looking at this site, I would say, hey, you guys have a lot of stock availability alerts. You guys maybe need to work on your inventory flow. Maybe you need to work at ordering more products or having them more readily available. But here's kind of like a screenshot, like a snapshot of everything that's going on in your business. And then if you scroll down here, it shows your most recent top 10 alerts. Now, one cool thing is, and before we get too far into this, I'll just say that what you're going to see is a lot of stuff is customizable. You can use it if you want to, and you cannot use it if you don't want to. We basically gave the customer the availability or the ability to do whatever they want and make it their own. So if we look at our 10 most recent alerts, it says a date, it tells you the ASIN, and you can click on the product and it'll tell you a little bit more about it, which item it is. You can see some information, what the sellers are. I won't get too far into this because it's pretty like detailed, but you can see the descriptions, bullets, etc. But you can say, click here to say, okay, and hide the alert. Like I'm done with this. I don't need to do anything. I understand this isn't a big deal. I'm just going to hide that alert. Separately, you could say, hey, you know what? I really need to fix the stock availability. That's a big problem. I'm going to go ahead and add this to my work list. And then it will go down here to where your work list is. This is an awesome place where you can say, hey, this is completed, or actually, I didn't mean to add it to my work list, but even more likely, you're going to assign it a priority. You're going to say, this is a big deal. I'm about to run out of stock and lose money. I'm going to cry myself to sleep. It's going to be terrible. So you can now make a priority. You can make a note. Augustus, why didn't we order more of these? Very sad. And this is a way that you can keep notes between everybody that logs in on AMZ Alert. So that's kind of just the dashboard. You log in, you see what's going on. Generally, you can see your most recent alerts and you can see your work list. So let's go to the next little tab over here. So this will take us to open alerts. So on the last page, we had 10 alerts. That was the most recent ones. This is basically the same thing. You can add them to your work list. You can mark them as red and that you don't need to do anything with them. You can also click on alert info, just like before, and it'll tell you what kind of alert it was, when it was. This is a stock availability alert. It's saying that the stock changed from 20 to 19. I'll show you later that you can set parameters to tell us when we need to send you alerts. And so this crossed that threshold and says, hey, you're running out of stock. You guys need to do something. You can also export this to Excel. A lot of our pages you can export to Excel so that if you prefer to work offline and not inside the dashboard, then you can do it that way too. You can also add advanced filters here to say, hey, I accidentally closed an alert. I need to search through there. You can search by alert type. There's a ton of them. We're not going to go through every single one right now. I think everybody that's watching is probably smart enough to understand the difference between description and bullets. You can do start date, end date, and you can also search by brand name. So this is really big for people that have multiple brands, especially when it comes to agencies and things like that. Separately, so that's pretty much that page. The next tab is your products. But before we go there, I'd rather jump ahead to add new products to show you how to add the products. Most of the time, you're not going to be adding products because most people aren't adding products to their catalog every single day. So that's why we have this up higher. But let's go to add new products real quick. So there's two ways to add products. One is by clicking this button. The other one is with the batch import. If you click add a product, the two requirements are the ASIN and the merchant ID. Now, this is cool, I think, which a lot of other alert systems don't do. A lot of other alert systems, you have to use like an Amazon ID token and connect your account to the alert system. And that's great. And they're good tools. But one thing it doesn't allow you to do is check other people's products, perhaps. So like with this, I could look at my competitor's ASIN, or like I'm an Amazon seller, I have been for years. And one thing I often do is if I'm like thinking about launching a product, I'm usually like looking at one or two of my competitors that has a similar product before my product ever even goes live. And I'm curious to know, hey, what is their price doing? Is their price going up? If so, maybe it's because like they're trying to make more margin and they're doing really well and selling a ton. If the price is going down, it's probably because they're not doing so great, things like that. But you can follow your competition and whatever you're interested in to see, hey, is this a market that I want to get involved in? Is this a market I want to stay away from? Or if you're already involved in the market, hey, what's going on with my competitor? If my competitor drops prices, then I need to maybe consider dropping my price too, if you already have a mature product. So basically, there's a lot of usability here. But yeah, you just need to put the ASIN and the merchant ID. And this is where you would pick all the monitoring things you want. A lot of these are pretty self-explanatory. If you had a category change, if your BSR changed, your description bullet changes, any things like that. This is a big one, suppression. You want to know immediately if your listing is suppressed. And most alert systems, if you run out of stock, they say your listing's been suppressed. We actually differentiate between a suppression because Amazon took it down for EPA reasons or whatever reason where you're actually like breaking a terms of service versus stock availability. So we have over here stock availability to where it won't scare you to half to death in the middle of the night if you get an email saying, hey, you're suppressed. Ours will just say you have a stock availability alert. Your account is, or your item's out of stock. But you can see hijackers here, negative and positive customer reviews. We even have existing review changes. So if somebody leaves you a review and then they change the review, we even have access to that information. We honestly think that, and we listened to the customer when we built this, we think that we have the most thorough, like complete system as far as alerts go. As you can see, there's a lot of options here. And even for wholesalers with like minimum, advertised price, there's just a ton of usability here. And then we have the ability to where you can turn these off and on. If you don't care about Amazon choice, you can turn them off and on, keyword rank, etc. And I'll explain keyword rank in a little bit, but you can also get alerted via email and via your phone. And this is really cool too. Now, if you were to like launch a product and then you later added colors, you can toggle this on for all items. So whenever you add a variation, you don't have to remember to go in and add this to your AMZ Alert profile. We'll automatically grab it for you. So you also get updates on the variations. I know that's really important for some people. So this is how you do it individually. And another thing here is the batch import file to where you can do it many items all at once. If you don't want to do it individually, or if you have a lot of items. And this is the type of file you'll get. You'll have, you'll need to put the ASIN in the merchant ID, just like you did before. And then also there's a place here to put keywords, and you can put up to 3 keywords per listing. So we'll also track main keywords for you if you want to. It's not required, but again, giving you the option if you want it. And you can also include the minimum, I don't know why I can't say that word, advertised price. So yeah, that's the way you add products. Real quick, before we just get ahead, this is how you remove products. You can do it in a bulk file, or you can do it individually, which I'll show you. But you won't be using these tabs too much, except for if you're launching new products or, when you first sign up. Any questions so far, or is that pretty self-explanatory?
It's self-explanatory, but I got a really good idea for the scenario when you want to track somebody's ASIN, like let's say your competitors, and you are a bad guy and you make everything that their listing is suppressed, and you have an alert if the ASIN is suppressed or not. It's great.
You want to sabotage them and then know when your sabotage worked? Okay. All right.
Of course,
Justice.
it's a joke, but I was just...
Sure it is. No, I'm joking.
Yeah.
No, that's but it is really useful. In all honesty, like from a competitive standpoint, being able to know if they're like getting way more reviews than you, then maybe you need to pick up your review game. If their price is going up, then maybe you could do the opposite. Maybe you're like, hey, I want to jump this guy as far as this keyword goes. He just raised it $1. I'm going to drop mine $1. I don't care if I break even for a couple of days. That's going to be my strategy. It's really cool because in the past we just didn't have that opportunity. Like I didn't know, or I never thought to do that. I'm probably just behind the curve as always, but I think it's a really neat tool. All right. Anyway, enough from me. Let's get on to products here. So here is where you'll actually see your products, and there's going to be quite a bit on this page. Actually, again, you can export it to Excel. You can make some, you can filter things again by brand name. So we love this because let's imagine you're a guy with, 50 ASINs, but you have some VAs that one's in charge of one brand, one's in charge of another brand. You can say, hey, you log into here and you take care of this brand, you can take care of that brand. And there's all these filters that makes it quicker and easier to do. You can click and do some bulk edits as well by clicking this button here, bulk editor monitoring. But let's just go in for now and check on a single product. So this will take you directly to the Amazon ASIN or to the Amazon page. But here, if you click edit, this is where even if on like an individual level, you're like, hey, on this one, I really am fighting for the bestseller badge. I need to know every time I get it, every time I lose it. With the bestseller ranking, you can track your bestseller category changes with a configurable threshold. So if you want to be in the top 20% of the bestseller rank, then this is when you'll get notifications if you go below it or above it. And then separately over here, this is where for stock availability, you would set an absolute threshold. You would say, hey, if I drop beneath 100 products, I need an alert, then you could set it right here and click save. This is also where you can add your keywords. So we could say Augustus Rocket Power, and we could add that keyword. And now it's going to find every time, oh, I misspelled your name, man. I apologize. I meant to say Augustus with an A. This is where you would. This is where you would, we'll get rid of that one. Well, this is where you would add these keywords from a manual perspective. And again, you can say, I don't want emails, I want text messages, or vice versa. And then you would save the product, or you could say, I want neither. I don't care about this item. I'm stopping selling it. I only got 5 of them left and I'm done with it. This is where if you wanted to delete the product, the only time you'd be doing that is if you were literally stopping selling it or getting rid of it. And here is where you can click more info. There's 2 ways to get here. You can click on this AMZ Listing Analyzer, or you can just click more info. A lot to dive in right here. This is a like aerial shot of your ASIN. It tells you how many images you have, your star rating and everything. But we're really proud of, well, I guess I'll wait a second before I go there. So this is a screenshot. This is a timeline that will tell you, hey, how many alerts have been coming through on this product? If you got an employee working for you and you haven't heard anything about this item, and all of a sudden you realize it's struggling, you can say something like, how did you miss all of these alerts? They all came through, and you can investigate to see if it's something with your settings or something was off, or if your employee was like snowboarding in the Alps and not telling you about it or something. Here's product trends. So this will just tell you your BSR over time. So, we integrated with Keepa to give you lots of information and data on each individual product. Again, I'm an Amazon seller. This was built by Amazon sellers for Amazon sellers, but we just kept listening to people, and we've had a laundry list of new things we wanted to push out. And this is a big update for us. So we basically collected all the things for months and we got them all done. And this is our big release. Keyword trends. We didn't have real keywords in here, so it didn't find it, but this is where you'd be able to click on your keyword and, click Augustus rocket power, and it would say how you were doing over time. This is the crawler history. To me, this doesn't mean anything. Maybe to like programmers or more techie people, this basically just tells us when it was scraped, when we did the crawl. Again, for me, doesn't mean much, but if it does to you, we put it in there. Somebody requested it or it wouldn't be there. And this is the thing we're really excited about. So this is an AMZ Listing Analyzer, and we actually worked with some people from Amazon to try to figure out what they thought a perfect listing would look like. So they kind of helped us build this. The product title length, the number of product images, this is like very, all of the listing analyzers have these things. But we went a little bit further, and we gave a ranking score on each single one of these, as well as like recommendations. And these are all automated. So, you have to take it with a grain of salt. Not all of these are going to be perfect recommendations, and your products better than anybody. But this is a guideline to help you say, hey, now not only am I looking at my entire Amazon account and making sure all the products are staying in stock, and that bullet points aren't being changed by a hijacker, or there's not hijackers on my listing, but actually looking even more in tune and saying, hey, is there something I can do to make my listing more relevant, to make it look better in Amazon's eyes? And you can see some of the things here, but we're proud of this. We like it quite well, and we hope you do too. This modify product here is, again, another link where you can go in and edit all the things. So there's plenty of places. We tried to make it user-friendly to where you can find what you need to do in lots of places. I think we can move on to product groups. This is where you can make product groups. So if we go into here, this is another place where you could say, I want to separate them by brand. I want to separate them by my best sellers versus my newly launched products. You could also separate them, like if you're a big agency, you could say, hey, Augustus is in charge of these, Clayton's in charge of those. So you could separate them by people. So here is Clayton's listing, and obviously there are no listings, but you can add products to this group pretty easily. So you can do it in bulk, you can pick individual ones. And then you can go down here and click add product, and then it'll show up here. Another thing inside of this is you can, and this is where you would connect to Slack. You can connect to Slack, you can connect to Jira. So if you guys don't want to get your notifications inside on email or on text, and instead your company runs on Slack or Jira, then you can use it. You can connect here, and it's super easy. You literally put in your channel ID. It takes seconds. I've never used Jira. Apparently it's a more techie Slack. Anyway, we integrated with it. So you guys can use that if you want. You can edit and delete a group, and you can add more products. Now, whenever you're in here, it's pretty much just like like you would expect it to be. But whenever you group this, whenever you have the groups, you can also go down here to sub users, and then you can assign them to specific groups. So let's say we made the groups first that we wanted you to be in charge of. And we would say, hey, we want Augustus to be in charge of new test data and AMZ tests. And hey, why not? Let's make it random too. And then you would only have those groups and your potential, like your specific, whenever you logged in under your sub user, which is another huge benefit of using AMZ Alert, is that we have the ability to add sub users. So they can see what they need to see and they don't see what they don't need to see. So that's kind of the main idea around product groups. You can get it to Slack, you can get it to Jira, or if you're using it inside of our system, then we can manage it through sub users and assign the sub users the correct groups, and they don't need the extra noise. All right, so we've done product groups now. We did add products, remove products. This is where you can go in if you do integrate with Slack, and you can click more info. And again, same thing you had before, but you can manage your notifications in here. And I think, again, you would go to, I think we do that in account settings, but this is where you can check to see, hey, is all this stuff showing up in Slack? Because this is what we're showing that we're pushing to Slack. So if it's not showing up, something's wrong. We might need to disconnect and reconnect. We've never had that problem in testing, but this is where you should see the flow of Slack notifications. I just talked to you about sub users. It's really easy to add sub users. You click here, you add the person's name, email, phone number, and password. And then this is where I already showed you, you could assign groups. This is where you can manage their access. So if for whatever reason you didn't want them to be able to edit the schedule reports or to delete things, you can basically go in here and say what you want them to have access to and what you don't. And then if Billy, does a terrible job for a long time, this little delete button, no, I'm joking. Hopefully he's great. Sorry, Billy, if you're watching this. Anyway, yeah, you can edit, add, very simple, very user-friendly, which I think you guys are going to figure out is how the entire site works. Now we're getting the last couple of things here. I'm going to jump ahead to schedule reports because account settings is a little bit more dense. So inside of schedule reports, it's just what it sounds like. So you can schedule a new report. You can call it, Augustus, I'm going to spell it right this time, loves birds, whatever you want, doesn't matter. You can pick the group. You can pick all groups, and then you can figure out what you want to get information on, right? You can also say that, hey, I want this to be, why can't I keep clicking on the wrong part? Sorry. Here you can pick, do I want it to be daily? Do I want it to be weekly? And, or you can, and I'll show you how to generate a report just all at just one time. And you can turn these off and on. So you can create these schedules, then you can turn them off, on. It's very easy. And then, yeah, so that's pretty much it. And then also you can click this button here, which will generate an instant report. And again, super easy to edit and go change. So if you, in the beginning, want a lot of information, but after a while you're like, hey, I don't need this information, you just go in and change it. You don't have to make a whole new report. Super user-friendly. All right. Last thing is account settings. So general, normal stuff, name, email, password, billing. This is where your plan would show up with us and your credit card information, things like that. Notification delivery. This is how this is if you didn't want to go in and you just wanted to change this for everything, you could change, which emails you use to send notifications to. Based on your plan, this is important, you can choose more email. This specific plan has 3 emails and only 1 phone number. If you get higher tiered plans, you get more emails, more phone numbers, and we'll work with you on that. This is whitelisted sellers. This is kind of like if you're, the way I think about this is if like you're a wholesaler, especially, and you're selling something, I don't know, like, Kit Kats. I don't even know who owns Kit Kat. I need to think of a company, Nike. If you're selling Nike goods and Nike also sells that good and you don't want to like know every time Nike takes the buy box from you, then you can whitelist those. And that way we won't send you notifications when those specific distributors or brands take over the buy box. Also, here's monitoring intervals. So you can pick, hey, I only want this information scraped once a day or twice a day or 3 times a day, etc. And these are how you can turn off and on reports. So you can get daily summary notifications, sort of like a snapshot of, hey, this is what's going on. This is how many suppressions you had, alerts. You can do this on a daily basis, a weekly basis, and then you can actually get a spreadsheet of seller data for your active products. So these reports vary from like how detailed they are. And again, you can turn them off and on to get as much or as little information as you want. And you can go in and actually make your own reports under scheduled reports. Jira, we already talked about. This is how you connect Jira. It might be made up. We're not sure if it exists. People tell us it does, so we're going to believe them. And then last but not least, we also created an API to where if you don't want to use this really as a dashboard or as a service, you can use it as an engine. So for anybody out there that has API capability, we've created that, and we can get you the API documentation right here. So you can help, so you can work with us through API. There's a lot in here, so I'm sure I probably forgot a couple of details, but that's the gist of it. That's what AMZ Alert is. As you can see, we created the new product groups, the new Slack, we integrated Slack, Jira, API. We have new sub users and new scheduled and custom reports. We worked on the dashboard to make it more user friendly. And we're so far really happy with what we've achieved, but we'll obviously continue to listen to our customers and make improvements as time goes on. But that's pretty much AMZ Alert in a nutshell.
Great, amazing presentation. And could you jump to the pricing, or tell us or show the screen and explain how does it affect number of users, number of ASINs?
Yeah, of course. So we actually still, this is very new for us, but this is going to be the page here. And so we have 3 different tiers right now that we call new seller, advanced seller, and elite seller. You can see some of the differences here. So this has got 24-hour monitoring intervals, 4-hour monitoring intervals, and it's possible this slightly changes. This is generally going to be the pricing. But we might, change this 24 hours to 12. We're not going to make it worse. I promise. It'll only get better. But as you can see, the new seller has a lot. It has product listing alerts, Amazon review alerts, listing analyzer, sales and marketing alerts, subcategory, product groups, Keepa integration, all the stuff I talked about. What it doesn't have, which for like a lot of people, they won't even need it, is API connection, right? If you're a small seller, you're probably not building an API to work with AMZ Alert. And you might be doing everything in-house as a sub user. So there's no sub users to where if you need multiple people to be logging in and out, that's not going to be a capability. And those scheduled custom reports won't come included. And you'll have one SMS and one email set up, but you will be able to integrate through Slack, and you'll still be able to integrate through Jira. The advanced, what changes there is you do get a sub user and you get unlimited scheduled reports, as well as more commonly monitored intervals, which is obviously important because then we're checking it not just once a day, but many times, 6 times a day, or in this case. And again, we just updated this. This might be changing to 1 hour. I apologize for that. I'll double check on that. I don't want to make any promises, but this pricing is new because, again, we've just created all these updates. So the difference between advanced and elite is now it jumps up all the way to 6 sub users. You now do get the API connection, as well as everything you get from advanced seller and new seller, and the amount of cell phone numbers and email so that you can use also jumps up quite a bit. And the other thing that I'll mention is that up here is a sliding bar with based on how many ASINs you have. And the more ASINs you have, you can see, I'm just going to drag this across, the price goes down across the board. So, this starts as 95 cents. But if you say, hey, I'm running this all by myself, I don't need a sub user, I don't need this scheduled reports, I'm fine with what it comes automatically and API connection, no thanks. You can get it down to 70 cents per ASIN per month. So we believe that AMZ Alert is the most specialized, most advanced alert system in the Amazon space. And also we look at it, and most of our customers that we have look at it this way. They say, we've spent thousands of dollars building these listings, time and money building this business. The last thing I want to have happen ever to it is for something to go unmissed, me not fix it and not be aware of it. And then all of the income that I have slowly degrade away, or even for a day, go away. So, 70 cents, 95 cents, basically $1 per month per listing, we think is extremely reasonable. And again, we're specializing. We have the most information, the most data, the most like we monitor it quicker than everybody else. So we think that it's great. Like we're really, really happy with the system we have, but we have a lot of developers also working on this and always making improvements. So it's going to continue to improve, but we're really happy with this pricing and we're happy with the product.
Yeah, it does make sense. And actually, you know, a lot of our audience are private label sellers. So they will have maybe at the beginning 2, 3 ASINs, maybe 10. So it's still like just $10 investment per month, which is, yeah, keeps you, you know, you can sleep safely without missing anything happening on your listings.
Exactly. Like whenever I first started selling on Amazon, I wish I'd have had something like AMZ Alert to tell me, hey, when I had a hijacker, right? Sometimes like I went a couple of days, if it was the weekend and I was out and I didn't, you know, with friends or family and I didn't realize it. Now this can save people a lot of money. We had that little ticker saying how much hours saved. I would love to know how much money we've saved when we said, hey, you got a hijacker. Somebody stole the buy box from you. You know, you need to immediately contact Amazon and tell them you know, brand registered, you have protection, get this guy off. We've saved so many of our people, so much customers' money. Like, especially like we have some sellers that just love us. Like they really do. Cause they've told us, hey, if my ASIN is down for even 12 hours, this is the amount of money I lose. You know, that'll pay for AMZ Alert for the whole year for them. In some cases, depends on the size of seller you are, obviously. But yeah, if you are a small seller, dollar an ASIN is still just so affordable. So
all right. And do you have plans to release any additional features? You said that very soon, probably by the time you're watching this recording, European marketplaces are covered. But anything else in the pipeline?
Yeah, that's a great question. So we've had a to-do list literally forever. And we finally feel like we're like coming to the surface because we've made all of these improvements. And next is exactly what I said and what you said: UK, Mexico, Canada, Germany, Spain. And after that, we're going to roll it out to even more countries. So that's on the close horizon. But if you're watching from not one of those countries, then that's the next plan. And we're expecting as we roll this out, as always, we rely on our customers. We want to hear your guys' thoughts. If you start using it and you're like, oh my God, you know what? I forgot about this, but this would be cool. Well, please tell us, send us a suggestion. And so as of now, the biggest thing is moving out to other countries, but I'm sure that our customers are going to come up with more things for us to build and we'll be there to do it.
And final question, do you have any offer for Orange Klik viewers?
Yeah, we weren't going to leave them out to dry, of course. So we have a coupon code, Orange Klik 15, and it's 15% off any plan you choose forever. So special offer to all Orange Klik people. And hopefully you guys can figure out the full power of AMZ Alert and how much it can help your business.
Yeah, it's amazing. So if you have one ASIN and you want the cheapest plan, instead of 95 cents, you just pay around 80 cents per month. It's nothing. Yeah, it's cool. Thank you very much, Clayton. And those who are watching, you will find the link below in the description of this video. Sign up for AMZ Alert if you think it can help to monitor your business, Amazon business better. And thank you very much, Clayton, and good luck in your business. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Augustus. Take care.
If you believe that AMZ Alert could be of help in your Amazon business operations and you want to monitor the status of your Amazon product listings, check the link below to sign up for AMZ Alert and try them. Also in the description, you will find a special offer for the viewers of Orange Klik channel. So this offer gives you 15% discount. And now I would like to invite you to watch a video with Sasha Gorelik, where she is talking about how to better optimize Amazon product listings and improve your A+ content.